Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Look, I gotta tell y'all what has been going on, give y'all somewhat of a life update before I get into this Belle Collective recap review. Because I'll tell y'all that, I had some stuff going on, but I won't tell y'all. And I feel like a lot of people think I'm just lying and I'm just slacking for no reason. So y'all, the last 2 days, we have been getting straight ice, sleet, wintry mix, all of it combined almost at the same time and some more. It's been bad. Yesterday was the worst day. Um, it was really, really bad to the point of where before I got off work, because my break was my last break, I try to have it right before I get off work. So when I'm done, I can just leave. Okay. I've been lucky to be able to do that the last few days. And so what I'll do is I'll go outside, turn my car on, and let it completely defrost because it's been straight ice. And if you've ever experienced ice on your vehicle, you know you can't just scrape it off. And I mean, it's thick. It was bad. It was terrible yesterday. And it happened again today, but it wasn't as bad. The streets were terrible yesterday. It was so bad yesterday to the point where I had to call my job as soon as I got on the highway where I would do the, if you want to call it an on ramp, that's the best way I can describe it. It's not an on ramp, but I'm literally getting onto the highway, which is seconds away from where I live currently. Y'all, as soon as I get on, I have to come to a stop before I even hardly get all the way on because somebody has slid. They were going like this on the road, which was completely covered. You couldn't even see the lines anymore. They're like this. And then before I got there, they were like this, blocking both lanes of traffic. So I was like, oh my gosh. And a police officer, he was in front of me. That's how slow I was driving. He passed me after I'd already gotten in my car and I had cleaned my car off. And I saw him when he got on the interstate. I said, okay, I'm going to take my time because I could tell there was ice and I didn't want to slip and slide. And I know how to, maneuver. So I was like, okay, got brand new tires. I'm good. So by the time I get down there, he's behind them and got the lights on. Because I was like, what happened? I'm thinking an accident happened. No, somebody has slid and they were like this. And then apparently they slid and it was like this. So I'm like, well, I see why. Because what I just scraped off of my car was all what was on this street. Y'all, the most is going on weather-wise here. They have declared a state of emergency. I've been going to work because it was definitely not like it was like 3 weeks ago when we got we got close to 10 inches of snow. We got like 6 to 8 inches instead of the 10 to 12 that they thought we were going to get. It was bad because they didn't treat the streets until it was like the next day. Like it was bad. But yeah, I'm all right for the most part. Y'all, I neglected to tell y'all that yesterday when I was at work, I got thrown into a situation because somebody just up and left halfway through the shift. Didn't nobody know. And they just threw me in the area where they were in. And I mean, I hate when people aren't where they need to be. They all behind and then make it look like I'm behind and don't know what I'm doing. So this person is junky and they was behind on what they were supposed to be doing. And so I'm trying to catch up, and then the most is going on all at the same time. I'm being pulled in several different directions at the same time. Y'all, my body go one way and I'm trying to go another. Y'all, I end up falling face forward, like my hand straight out. And it's like, have you ever fallen or a situation has happened that was bad, that was coming, and you already knew it was coming, but it's like your mind slowed it down. It's like you can envision yourself in slow motion. That's what happened to me yesterday. So anyway, I fell just like this, and I kind of fell on top of something at an angle, even though it wasn't that high off the ground. But because of how I fell, my knees got the brunt of it. And so my knees are bruised up a little bit, and my arm hurts like the worst out of all of it. But I didn't think nothing of it until I looked after I took a shower before I went to work. And I'm bruised right here. At least right here. I don't know if anything else, but like right here is a bruise. Y'all, but I'm all right. Anyway, that was my little 5 minutes out of the day to give y'all my life update. I'm all right despite that. My birthday is tomorrow, so I'm trying to be excited for that despite not being able to really do nothing. So anyway, let's go on ahead and get into this recap review. So we're back at the brunch where Kaylin, or whatever Antoinette's white friend's name is, told Marie to come here. I was like, girl, not come here. Come here. And that's why she was like, come here. Y'all, they was about to get into it, and then in the confessional, Letitia was talking about how she has to take back over her brunch, and it's a bigger thing at hand that she has to discuss with them, and she just has to take it over. And so Kaylin went on ahead and walked out, and not before, grabbing her something to drink on the way out. She went on by her business. And so Letitia was finally able to let everybody know about Ferris Street and said that, she wanted to know a little bit more about it, despite what she'd already known from her grandfather, and that every time she would look it up, the woman who was invited there, Miss Davis, her name kept popping up, and she just wanted to know what was going on. And since her name kept popping up, she found her, she was talking to her, and she said that everything everybody else wanted to do with that strip of land and those buildings, everybody said no to. But what she wanted to do, Letitia, she wants to do, she's saying yes to it. And so this is when she starts to ask everybody to be on board with revitalizing that strip. So after all was said and done, Marie and Essie rolled up and was like, we are on board. We are here for it. So Letitia is happy because she definitely has 2 investors right now. Latrice is having a meeting with her brand ambassador, and they're discussing essential and everything. She's really trying to get that rolled out. And while she's in the middle of talking about that, she does a confessional where she's discussing how she has like 4 brothers and they were all taken away from her. 2 of them are deceased, and the brother that we're going to meet during this episode, he was imprisoned, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me down in the comment section. Y'all know I don't mind that. But like all of them have been taken away from her in one form or fashion. But this one just got out of prison for killing somebody, and she never agrees with the women who he dates and has dealings with or whatever. And apparently he'll tell her something and she'll go off of what he's telling her, but he'll just decide to do what he want to do, which, I mean, he grown, he can do what he want to do. But it's like, I see both sides, if that really is what it is that she's talking about. So anyway, her husband popped up, and I was like, Lord, because like she was literally in the middle of telling us about how she struggled, and she's had doors slammed in her face when she was trying to, have her come up and, become an entrepreneur, and she was eating ramen noodles and couldn't pay her rent and all this other stuff. And now she is doing well for herself. She's come from nothing. And so her husband come in, and he was talking about, apparently the brother went from having a girlfriend to a wife. And so she looking like, nah, that don't even make no sense, because why would that be true? We too close for that. He would tell me that, like, it ain't making sense. So, yeah. She said that they're going to have a conversation, but I'm just like, this is a lot already. Child. Letitia's husband came home. And, y'all are just, everybody's relationships are just trash. It's just so sad. It is so sad. It's like, I might be able to count on one hand how many decent relationships that are real, that are black, that are supposed to be black love. You're supposed to be representing black love. All these relationships are toxic and just... Anyway, her husband came home. As y'all know, he works like 28 days on the sea and then 14 days at the house or something like that, right? With some kind of boat situation. Y'all, I don't even know how to pronounce it no more. Tugger or something, y'all. Y'all correct me down in the comment section. I forgot what it is that he do. But anyway, he came home, greeted their son, and then they greeted one another, and they made sure that the child went on by his business so they could talk grown folks' business. So she let him know that she is going to be very busy. She's going to still take care of home, but she's not going to be available like she used to be. And he ain't really trying to hear all that. He like, I hear you, and I'm happy for what you got going on, but I have needs. So some kind of way she's going to have to figure out what she's going to do, because he seems more concerned about grace and mercy and spreading butt cheeks and thighs than the whole picture. I don't know. And I mean, I know that sex is like a nice chunk of these relationships, especially if it's going to be good. Please let it be good for him to be acting like this, because it's just too much. Anyway, we haven't even gotten to the part yet where he going to ask for a contract. And we going to see what kind of contract. I'm pretty sure I know, but we going to see. But yeah, she already making it plain that she ain't gonna be here and available like she has been in the past, and he gonna have to make some adjustments. And so he trying to figure out how these adjustments are gonna affect him in the sex department. So we're back at the foolishness again with Letitia and her husband Glenn. So she's in the middle of making calls, trying to get the architect on board, and contractors and all of that for Ferris Street. So while she's in the middle of making these phone calls and setting up meetings, her husband go around the house looking through everything, trying to look for something to eat. The cupboards look very bare. They have the type of cabinets that some of the cabinets you can see through them, and there's supposed to be plates and glasses that you can see, and there's like nothing. So it just looks like a show house. I don't know why. It didn't look like a show house in the kitchen, at least. And you could just tell what nothing in none of that stuff. I was like, what is going on? Then when you open the refrigerator, wasn't nothing but like alcohol in there. I was like, what's going on here? That's so crazy. But anyway, anybody else peep that? I'm trying to understand what's going on with that. But anyway, so he tied his spirit because he looking for food. Ain't no food in the house, according to him. So then he comes stand in her face while she's in the middle of a phone call. And so then she eventually is about to get off the phone. He revs up the vacuum cleaner. She had to close the door because she couldn't even hear herself speak anymore. And the person that was on the phone couldn't hardly hear her. It was just too much. So then she was like, what's the problem? I could tell he in there, he got an attitude. He in his feelings about something. And I'm just like, so he came in there talking about ain't no food. She was like, it's ham in there, it's bologna in there, it's hot dogs in there. You can make you something to eat. He said he ain't supposed to wear no apron. An apron don't fit him. And I'm just like, okay. So she was like, I'm trying to get this off the ground for us. And so he ain't trying to hear that. He feels like she's been neglecting him and their son, and that it's become a more regular thing with her doing this, and that he's not being catered to in the bedroom. The food that he wants, he ain't getting. She said, for like almost 20 years we done been together. You've been getting this food. Why are you trying to make it seem like you ain't been having no steak and all this other stuff that you talking about? That's what you want to eat. And so he talking about, you need to sign this contract. She's just like, I ain't on board with that. I ain't signing nothing. What happened to the proposal? Apparently, he was supposed to propose to her, or they were supposed to have a vow renewal, and that ain't happened. And so he hasn't proposed again. So she said, until he does that, ain't gonna be no yams in the bedroom, and he ain't gonna get nothing to eat either. So he gonna have to just deal with that. I just can't. Everybody's relationship is trash. Latrice's immediate family have gathered at her home so that they can celebrate the life of her two brothers that are deceased. and it's been like 20 something years since they passed away. And they have a nice spread, and apparently they're surrounded by love, and that's amazing that you have great family members that knew of your brothers and they want to share in that moment. She says that she does something every year to keep their memory alive. This year, Cliff came up with the idea of planting trees in their memory. So they're going to eat, and then they're going to go and dig a hole in the ground and plant the trees. So she actually did a speech, and one of the other brothers, he said a few words, and you could tell how emotional he was when he was talking about his brothers. So then it got to the brother that she's going to eventually like go back and forth with or whatever later on this episode, and he just walked off. Apparently this is what he always does because he never wants to discuss it. And I feel like this, I don't know the backstory, but I know what a lot of people, when it comes to death, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to necessarily show their emotions. It's just a wide range of reasons why people just don't want to discuss it. I know for me, when it came to certain people who passed away, I cannot to this day part my lips to even begin to say anything because I will instantly like just start crying. So I don't know what it is. I just can't. Some people I just don't want to discuss at all. So I can understand that. So yeah. Now they about to go into just regular mingling, and I'll come back. So Latrice is sitting down talking with her brother, and they get down to business, and she wants to know why is it that he doesn't come around anymore. Like, he don't come to no family functions. He don't come by the house to talk to her no more. He don't call her. Like, they have no communication. And so he was like, it is what it is. You know why I don't come around. So we find out that his family lives for his baby mama, Pam. And the child and the baby mama live with his mama or something like that because she has nowhere to go. And since they are supposed to be all about family, he feels like when he wants to spend time with his family, he can't because she there. And they ain't on the greatest of terms right now. And he got a whole nother woman named Belinda. Fun fact, a lot of people like to call me Belinda, but that's not my name. And I just find it hilarious. I just don't care because as long as it's spelled the way it's supposed to be spelled on my check, I don't care. But anyway, whoever this woman is that he's with named Belinda, he lived for her, and it's to the point where she doesn't even feel welcome. She doesn't think that they like her because they live for the baby mama, so she don't want to go around. And he the type of person, well, okay, I'm with you. Like, if you don't want to go around them and you feel like they're acting funny towards you, and I already don't want to go around them because they got my baby mama, who I ain't cool with right now, over there at my mama house and at functions and all this other stuff, we just gonna be at the house together or somewhere where they ain't at. So I think it's crazy. I'm trying to understand what is going on. First of all, ain't he like 40 something? How old is the baby mama? Like, what? I have questions. Like, so many things were said, and I'm just like, what in the world? Okay, like, what? How old is the baby mama? How old is the child? Why she ain't got her own place? It's I don't know. It's just so many things that are raising red flags and things. I'm just trying to understand what is going on. Does he pay child support? Does he spend time with the child? Like, I don't know. Because you know how some people, they'll get in a new relationship and act like their kids don't exist, but let them have kids. Let the new person have kids. They treat them kids like they theirs. I don't know. Anyway, I just want to know. I always have questions, y'all. I be needing to know what's going on. But anyway, he was just like, look, We family at the end of the day. It is what it is. She said that, you know, one day, hopefully, she and Belinda will be able to sit down and have a conversation and hash things out, because if he riding for somebody, she's saying that, you know, if he likes somebody, then she gonna try to be there and like them too, because she loves their relationship, or the relationship they did have. They are 1 day apart in age. 1 day, 1 year. I think he's 1 year older than her. Y'all, excuse me. But, you know, it's to the point where they call each other twin and all the other stuff. They did have some pictures up before, and they do look very, I don't know who they look like, but if it's their daddy, he couldn't deny them. So yeah, I wasn't paying attention to their mama. If that was, I think the person's name was Gloria. If that was her mama, I didn't pay attention, and to me it was a little bit too fast. But if they look like their daddy, then he couldn't deny them. But anyway, y'all, it's just, you can't choose your family. But it's like I can kind of understand both sides of it, because like that's like me and my ex. The ex I keep telling y'all about, that's from Huntsville. That's like my parents putting him up, and I want to come home. I ain't even gonna be able to come home and like go in one of the rooms. Like I can't. I'm probably not gonna be able to go in my old room, because my parents have a room, my brother has a room, and the last room was the room that my sister and I shared while we were growing up. And it's like, I wouldn't even be able to go home. I don't want to have to deal with him. He got he has 2 biological kids now. And like, what if something happened with the ex and then he just took those kids and now they putting him up? I don't know. I would feel some type of way, because I would feel like I wouldn't be able to say everything I want to say around my family and all. I don't know. I might feel some type of way, because I'm already not here for my family members interacting with exes, but they do. So I'm just like, ugh, I ain't never been here for that. I'm sorry. So I can understand where he coming from, but at the same time, you shouldn't cut off all communication with your family. Just talk about it and say, this is my grievance. This is the problem that I have. And this is why I ain't been around. You might have noticed they ain't been around. This is why. Y'all should talk about stuff like that. So anyway, hopefully they will be able to come to some sort of agreement and really work through it, and not just have this as a moment that we've seen on TV and that's it. Anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review. Like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Let's get down in the comment section and talk about it. What y'all think about these marriages? What y'all think about these relationships that's going on here? What do y'all think about these ladies and the different things they got going on? Anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all later on. Bye.